Hi, everyone. Welcome to the That's Allowed podcast. I'm your hostess, Audrienne McKeon, and today we have Simply Speaks. Please introduce yourself.
Good day, everyone. I am Simply Speaks with Simply Speaks LLC. I'm excited to be here. I call myself the everything person. I'm a businesswoman, speaker, and just a resilient force of energy.
Fabulous. So let's just dive into the first question here. The question I usually ask is, what story is the world not getting?
What story is the world's not getting? And in the midst of everything going on today, I was traveling back to the office about an hour ago. I realized that, a lot is happening today in the world, and a lot of people are not getting the idea of resilience. I
Mm,
think that it's something that we have to really key in on. And my story is one of resilience. And a lot of people, they see me as I am now, but they have no idea how I've been able to pull myself up from the bootstraps and just be resilient and just show up and show out regardless of what others may think.
Absolutely. So, just to contextualize for people, because this is not going to air today, obviously, we are recording on election day. So, obviously, there's a lot of tension. It's a very exciting, but also anxiety producing day for a lot of people. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of breathing exercises today.
You must.
Absolutely. Yes, we must. And so I love that topic of resilience. Let's dive a little bit deeper into that. What does resilience mean to you?
To me, resilience, it means to pull oneself up by the bootstraps, to bounce back, regardless of what's going on. And hence, today we're having this wonderful dialogue on election day. And at the end of the day, someone is going to lose, someone is going to win. In the midst of it all, we as, energy of the world have to be willing to be resilient no matter what comes, being able to bounce back.
Absolutely. So, how has that played out in your life and in your story?
Wow, it's played out. It's a part of my everyday life, being resilient. But going from being homeless, not once, not twice, but three times, and
Mm,
starting at a very young age, as a teenager, and recognizing at 16, 17 years old that I'm my own rescue. I am my own rescue. And so it's been so important for me in my journey just to recognize that each day that I am breathing life is an opportunity to pull myself up and do the opposite of what I've been taught.
So, when did the tide turn for you? When were you able to kind of own your resilience and start to really bounce back?
Yeah, and that's such a great question. It's always been there. I think that
Mhm.
we are equipped with the ability to thrive.
Mhm.
But it didn't kick in for me until in my late 20s, 28 years old, trying to figure out, wait a minute, I'm living my life according to everyone else's norms, being comfortable for everyone else. And I had to make a decision, either I'm going to stay, in a community that doesn't suit my higher calling, or I'm going to branch out. And at 28, I decided to do that after, getting out of a toxic relationship, letting go of drugs, recognizing the traumas of childhood. And so that's been the journey, being able to say, you know what, enough is enough. Here I am, and I'm going to show up, loving myself more. And that it's a process.
It is so hard. I mean, just the bravery that it takes to be able to say, I'm going to separate myself from everything I've ever known, all the people who ostensibly care about me, and find something better. That is
Right.
so hard to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And especially when you've been conditioned to believe that you need to stay in one lane. I've been talking about this as well, recognizing that it is okay to go out of your lane. We've been, and when I say we, being a minority, growing up in the inner city of the Bronx, to, South Bronx, a lot of poverty and drugs and, other things happening. We were taught, that this is your lane. And I've always been one to question, like, what else is out there? There has to be something else out there besides this. And once you can recognize that and be comfortable enough to go against the grain, you're okay. But again, it's very hard, and there's a lot of fear of, if I leave that, then what?
Yeah.
And I say to everyone, if you leave that, there's something better.
So besides that fear, what else held you back?
What else held me back? Self-sabotage. I'm not supposed to be successful. I'm not supposed to have a business. I'm not supposed to be loved. So the self-sabotage, but again, based on the conditioned behaviors and thought processes that were handed down. Being able to let that stuff go. And even, today, it's been many years since I've started my self-healing journey. I still have to remind myself, it's okay to be professional. It's okay to speak well. It's okay. So it's, again, resilience is an everyday process.
Absolutely. So, how would you advise people listening to this to get more in touch with their own supply of resilience? Because, like you said, we all have that within us. How do you tap into that?
Wow, great one. And I think that, with recognizing that we have intuition and instincts, and that's my book, Instinct and Intuition, The Uprise of the Resilient Woman, recognizing that we have to go within. There's so many labels in the world. They're not going to go anywhere. Labels are going to be around forever and a day, whether we want them to or not. But recognizing outside the labels, man, woman, black, white, Republican, Democrat, if we can go there, right? There's the spirit, there's the inside. And if we learn to tap into that, then the answer is right there on what needs to be done. We are, this is a body, it's a battery, and it's constantly being recharged. But if you have a lot of background noise, you can't hear what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So, tune out that outside noise,
Mhm.
listen to the voice within.
To go within, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have some tools that work really well for you to help tune out that noise and go within?
I've learned to, I am big on mirror work and affirmations.
Mm.
I'm big on affirmations. I love Abraham Hicks and, some of the other greats, but just, recognizing, to get still, in stillness and in clarity. I'm big on clarity and, having things clear so those messages can come in. Oftentimes we're on autopilot. We're just going, going, going. And I like the pause. You have to be able to pause in between each project. We constantly like this, so everything goes haywire. So my thing is, what I encourage people to do is just to be still, and everything will come to you. And sometimes we don't understand that, and some people are afraid to tap into the true self.
Yeah. Well, it can be very scary to let go of that, what we've known as our security blanket of doing, doing, doing. That we always have to be producing something. We always have to be working on something or doing something. And if we're not, then we're useless and, unproductive. And so it takes a lot of bravery, honestly, to challenge that and say, I can just be. And that actually is more healing and more productive
Right.
in the long term.
Right, absolutely. And then going back to the idea of titles and, labels,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to be? And oftentimes I ask people, what do you do? Who are you? And they go, oh, I am this and I'm that. And I go, no, who are you? And we've been taught that we shouldn't be. It's like, who are you? I've come to a space in my journey where I'm just not recognizing it, but putting a name to it, putting a name to who I actually am, in life, not just as a woman or male, but this non-binary specimen of energy. And it's like,
Hmm.
wait, what is that? And recognizing it was always there, but I didn't know how to say, wait a minute, I feel a little different. This is what's going on with me. And it's just about being comfortable with who you are. It's a
Absolutely.
process. It's
Yeah, it
definitely,
is. It is a process. Everything.
look, I said it out loud, non-binary, right? It's a process.
It's a process. And we're all works in process.
Yeah,
I've never met anyone who was complete.
right.
Maybe Buddha was. I don't know. I didn't meet him, but I've heard good things. So, how did this journey change you?
The journey has changed me so much for the better. For most part of my life, I followed people. People go, "Oh, you're a great leader," but before I was a leader, I was a follower, and I followed a lot of the wrong people, trying to, number one, get validation, to be a part of something, to be a part of a group of people, whether friends or family, looking for that connection, and then recognizing, wait a minute, I am the connection. I am the prototype. And we are all prototypes, and we can just come together and connect. We can do so many powerful things.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. So, who do you think needs to hear this?
I think my message is for, of course, my target audience is women. The resilient women. I do a lot of behavior modification studies on women's development and mental health things like that. But I think that anyone that is looking for something more, anyone that's, I like that. What is it? Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. Anyone that's searching for meaning can get this message on resilience. The idea of that everything that you're looking for is already right there, just to get still and recognize that you are okay. We live in a world right now where so many people are finger pointing of who's right and what's wrong and what can't happen, and you need to stay over here, and you forgot where you came from. I've heard that so much. You forgot where you came from. Like, I say to people, Adrian, do you see my skin? I cannot forget. You understand? It's like I cannot forget where I came from, but in the midst of it, I am allowed to love and connect with other diverse groups of people who are spirits just like me. So anyone can get the message of resilience and just pushing through and being open to other connections.
That phrase has always sort of bothered me, don't forget where you came from, as if you could.
Yeah. It's like it's the reason why I do everything that I do.
Exactly. Like I would not be here if I hadn't been there.
Right.
So, even if you literally forgot, where you came from, it's still part of who you are and
Hmm.
always will be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think part of the
Absolutely.
power of storytelling is to be able to look at it as a story, that where I've been, and see it
Right.
as this kind of thing outside of myself.
Right.
Because otherwise it colors everything you do. It's like this pair of glasses that you can't take off. And
Yes.
everything you see through this haze of where you've been.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Adrian, it's the pieces of the puzzle, it's moving parts of the puzzle. So if I stay in this one corner of the puzzle, I'm not going to see all the beauty that's over there.
Yeah.
And we have to, I would say, I've been focused on undoing the norms, undoing. I do everything opposite of what I've been taught. That's just me. They go, "Oh, she's just out there." But to undo the norm so that you can see that there are other moving parts of the puzzle that are just as beautiful. And right now we live in a space where the media and has created so much separation amongst the people. And it's just why you have to turn things off and pause and say, wait a minute, let me connect with this loving energy that on the outside is called Adrian. Let me connect with this loving energy that is on the outside that is called Simply, because there's so much more to just that physical. And I hope I'm making sense. I always say to people, do I make sense in what I'm sharing here on the spiritual level? There's so much more to the human energy that we are missing.
Yeah. And I think you have to embrace that love energy, like you said. I think you have to embrace the fear energy too. I think you have to see it there and stop fighting it and stop
Mhm.
resisting it and just say, "Oh, fear." It's like I think of all my emotions as my like little kids, you
Yeah.
know? And I see fear and I go, "Oh, fear, come here, come here." And I just give it a big hug. And I go, I know, you're so scared and you're trying so hard to protect me. And I appreciate that so deeply.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you for being here." And then it just disappears
it
because it's been
disappears.
acknowledged.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you stayed a little kinder and nicer with me. With fear, it's like, no, you're going to sit down, and this is what's going to happen.
Set boundaries.
There you go.
That's important too. That's
Yeah.
important too. But you have to acknowledge it. You can't just
Oh
ignore it
yeah.
or it just gets louder and
Absolutely.
louder because it goes, hey, I'm here. I'm here. It's
Right.
like, mom, mom, mom.
Right. Right. Which we know is false evidence appearing real. That's what fear is that false evidence appearing real.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
acknowledge it and you keep on going.
Yeah. So, what would you say is the main message or takeaway for people listening to this today?
The main takeaway for people listening today is just to be, to allow your authentic self to evolve. And that has been the biggest part of my journey. When I look at myself and I go within and I look at the spirit, I go, oh my God, if had I known way back then, but everything happens for a reason. It's the story, right? But to be authentic, to be yourself without apology, to be yourself, and people are not going to understand who you are and what you are and why you do what you do. You just have to do it without explanation. And so I've learned to accept all of me, the parts that are still growing, the parts that I didn't understand. Again, I'm coming into, I'll be 48 next month. I'm telling my age. I like telling my age. I'm going to be 48 years old next month. And I realized, like, whoa, 2020 has been a year for everyone, the good, the bad, the not so good, but it's been a growing year of really saying, whoa, all of this time, I had no idea of what was going on within. And now I can put a name on it. And I'm not ashamed to say, people go, what does that mean? Do you want to be a man or do you want to be a woman? What is this non-binary type of thing? What are you talking about? And I go, no, I realized that I was born this way, but in here, this is what I'm seeing, this masculine side of me that I've been hiding from the world partially, right? And it's like, no, this is the energy that I was assigned to. And so I have to be very gracious and comfortable enough to saying, this is my assignment. And someone out there is listening to it and going, oh my God, that is me. So the message that I want to leave with people is to be authentic, allow your true self to evolve.
I feel like this whole podcast, is just that. Like, that is the message, but it's like everyone comes with a different version of this same
Oh yeah.
message of just
Oh yeah.
you do you, be yourself, be
Yes.
authentic,
Be authentic.
just be like, uh,
Mhm.
listen to your intuition, all of that stuff. But, I think we have to hear it all those different ways to really absorb it because
Absorb it.
it's the answer, but it is buried under all these layers.
Yes.
And it's like every time you take a mask off, there's like 10 underneath, you know? And it's like you said, it's this process of constant stripping away and stripping away and stripping away everything that is not
Mhm.
you. I always, use the analogy of the David, right? It's like
Yes.
he didn't, you know, carve the David, he just took away all the rock that wasn't the David.
Right.
And that's what we're doing. We are these beautiful works of art where what we're doing is just getting rid of all this stuff that isn't us.
Right. Yes.
And it's a never ending process. And it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful
Yes.
journey.
And it's a forever journey. As long as we're breathing, we're going to be on this journey of evolving. I talk a lot about life assignments and purpose. And sometimes when I'm speaking, people become very afraid. Like, what is she talking about? What is this person talking about on the spiritual level? You're going too deep, simply. But I realize that there's an assignment, there's a calling on everybody's life, and you have to figure out what that is. And in order to do that, you have to be willing to let go of the fear, number one, to peel back those layers, number two, and number three, to be so comfortable walking in your rawness. Because that's what it is. Once you peel back the layer, that's that raw energy.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of it shining and people looking at it and pointing is what makes a lot of people go back in. They go back in, they close back up. But I champion you all to just open up and allow your raw energy to emerge, because we are all here, not for even for ourselves. We're here to be of service to others.
Yeah. That rawness, that vulnerability, that nakedness of just
Yes.
this is who I am,
This is who
warts
I
and all. And that's what I do too, is I help people just find their gifts and
am.
give their gifts and create, because we're all creators.
Yes.
So what I'd love to do with you is a little exercise. So if I could have you just take a deep breath. Yeah, and just keep your eyes closed. That's good. I'm going to wave my magic wand. I have now waved it. And everything that you desire has just come true. Everything that you want so deeply that it goes all the way to your soul, to what you had with you when you were born into this body, that has just come to pass. It's all true, it's all real, and it's all happening right now. And so I want you to just wake up in this new reality, look around, and tell me exactly what you see, what you can hear, taste, touch, and smell.
I am a child of the Most High God. My walk in life is to inspire others to go beyond their comfort zones and to pull out that part of themselves that they've been hiding for so long. That's why I'm here. I walk and talk in light, in an energy of love. And we may not understand, the assignment that we've been given, but in this newness, in this now, I see that I have the ability to create from nothing, from the bottom
So I
to
want you
all
to
of
see
this.
I want you to see someone in front of you that you have just helped to discover their own purpose, and see on their face that gratitude, that relief, just that outpouring of happiness that you've just given to this person. I want you to see that for a moment. Hear them saying to you, "Thank you. Thank you so much." How does that feel?
It feels great. It feels great knowing that I'm being of service.
What
It
else
feels
do you
really, really
see?
good.
What else do you see in this space?
I see, people recognizing that it's okay just to be. I see, people recognizing that it's okay to be vulnerable, to let go, to let go.
I want you to see that, say you're walking down a street, okay? And just see all these people. It's like this light is going off within them. You're just seeing them waking up one after the other. Just see that and hear them going, "Oh," having those little moments of epiphany. And I want you to smell. In fact, what do you smell? Just tell me. What do you smell in this space?
As always, lavender,
Lavender.
calmness, peace.
Yeah, beautiful. Is there any music that comes to mind as you're watching these people wake up one after the other?
Jazz, smooth
Mm,
jazz, calmness, soothing water sounds.
beautiful. So, what I would recommend to you is just to make a little slideshow of those people waking up, just the faces of the people waking up,
Wow.
and put underneath of it that jazz, maybe some waves, whatever is really relaxing to you. You can even have some lavender essence if that helps to get you back into that space of just the joy of watching those people awaken and knowing that you were a part of that.
Awesome. It's an
Yeah.
awesome idea. An awesome exercise, actually.
Yeah. So feel free to do that in the mornings. That's when I usually do it. Just
Oh
really
yeah,
sets the tone for the day.
absolutely. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right. Where can the people find you?
The people can find me at www.simplyspeaksllc.com. I'm also on Facebook at Simply Speaks, Instagram at Resilient Speaker or Simply Speaks LLC. And also on the horizon, which is this month, my new book. I'm a new author, have a lot of things going on in the resilience world, instinct and intuition, the uprise of the resilient woman. For all the women or people who identify as women, please, get the book. There's great exercises on growth and just being able to overcome all those obstacles and to let go of those fears.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Blessings.